Hi Virgo, welcome back to Key Wisdom Tarot. My name is Ruth and I'm your Reiki Master and Tarot Reader. This Virgo is your intuitive reading for the time between the 19th and the 25th of June. I'm going to draw some cards relating to love, everything else in your life, money, work, etc. And also the key energies that you could be expecting to experience this week. I've already shuffled and meditated. I'll do a little bit more of that on camera and then we'll get started on your reading. And don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, okay? That's how you can support all the YouTubers that you watch on the channel. Okay, my darling, so the card on the base of your reading is the Knight of Cups. The card on the base of the reading is really the overall perspective that you need to see this reading or this week through, okay? And for you guys, that's the Knight of Cups. Beautiful. Okay, so the Knights are things, so you'll be experiencing this type of energy where you're wanting to make a step in a direction to actually take action toward a direction, toward a person or a job, a situation that you have feelings, good emotional feelings about. Okay, so this could be an expression of love, for example. It could be saying to somebody or to a company, you know, hey, I want to work with you. You know, I don't know. You will know in your life that's what that is. But this is actually an energy that you will feel. You will feel like you want to actually go in a direction and you want to take action. You will want to go towards something or somebody that you want. So let's look at your first key energy. We'll look at this one first. We'll look at this one last. These are your key energies for this week. And then we've got love here and then everything else. Okay, so let's have a look. We've got the number 2. This is the second reading, and I think the third or fourth number 2 I've had out. I've not seen this one yet. This is the Two of Swords. So the key energy for you guys this week seems to be about a decision. It seems to be about committing to a point of view, a perspective, a thought process, a way of thinking. Because the sword energy is all about our thoughts, our minds, our clarity, our consciousness, our communication, okay? It's about what we say and think and about what we allow ourselves to say and think, i.e. our awareness, what we allow ourselves to be aware of. And there's an element of that with this card. It's about maybe being committed to a way of thinking that we know might not be serving us, okay? So in this instance, it might be that you are feeling, because this is a feeling, you will feel the urge, you will feel the energy of wanting to go in a direction, wanting to say I'm sorry, wanting to say please will you go out with me, wanting to say whatever it is, and you feel that urge to do it. But some of you will be committed to the logic of this is, I do not know what I want to do. And I feel like that, but it's not what I want to do. And you might try to rationalize something or talk yourself out of something potentially. It's interesting because it's saying to us that you're committed to a way of thinking this week that might actually be blinding you and stopping you from actually connecting with really truly what it is you're feeling. And that's the thing, you've got to act on your feelings. And that doesn't mean, I want to, I don't know, move to, I'm in England, so you might say, I want to move to Portugal. Portugal's fabulous. Ibiza's fabulous. Oh my God, there's so many fabulous places. Oh, New Zealand. Anyway, I digress. But I'm going to go into Vegas in a few years. Anyway, I'm digressing. Basically, this is you saying, you might want to do that, but obviously it's not logical to do that, and that's fine. I'm not saying that you have to be like, oh, I'm just going to sell up and move to Vegas, or I'm going to sell up and move to Portugal. It's not that. Hello, Tiny's here. We know what that means, don't we? Hello, Tiny dog. Come on. Did you hear that? Come on, say hello to everybody. Hello, everybody. Right, okay, you sit there, good boy. So it doesn't mean that you have to sort of act on it and go to Vegas. But what it means is that you have to really be aware of what you're feeling this week, and you've got to be aware that if you're being pulled in a direction that feels like the right thing to do, that is something that you need to recognize and acknowledge, okay? So let's look at love, okay? So these two cards of love, we'll look at this one last. These two cards of love, and we've got it. Interesting, because these two cards are almost opposites. They're almost opposites, these two cards. It's very interesting. So when it comes to love, we've got a transformation. So a situation or a circumstance. See, this is, you think someone, you right now, you think this is bad. You're thinking, oh, this is bad, but it isn't bad. It isn't. This is saying, this is actually the opposite. It's transforming from a situation that has been bad in love. So it's like you've been on the outs with your partner, you've been arguing, you've just not been seeing eye to eye, you've just not been communicating properly, or you've been single, just something like that. But it's as if that situation is what's transforming this week. It's not that you're in a happy relationship and that ends. No. It's the opposite of that. It's as if that's where you've been. It's as if you enter this week almost fed up with how things have been going. It's like you're fed up of it. You've been in this situation now for too long. It's like whatever your situation is, whether it's you're in a relationship and you and your partner just not been gelling. And 2019, we know, has been a hard year. We know that personally, everyone's been going through it beneath the surface, also indicated by this death energy or Scorpio energy. It's that energy of, I'm going to keep this to myself until I understand what it is I'm feeling, until I understand what it is I can do to change that feeling. That's the energy of death as well, because it's the awareness that comes through where once we've spent that. Because look, we've got 13. So we've got number 1, initiation, new start, new beginning. And we've got number 3, which is about expansion and growth. This is number 3 as well. And also 1 and 3 equals 4. 1 plus 3 equals 4. And 4s are about our foundations. So the death energy is such a interesting energy, because it forces us to examine our foundations. But we do that in a way by relying solely on ourself, on our feelings. We're trying to muddle through and trying to work it out and trying to understand it with this energy. Recognizing that something needs to change with fundamentally, number 4, the foundations of our relationship, or the foundations of our self-esteem, or the foundations of who you fundamentally have thought you have been, or a situation that's been going on in the relationship, how that fundamentally has been. It's recognizing that a change is necessary, that growth is necessary, that movement and expansion is necessary, that truth is necessary, that authenticity is necessary. And this is exactly what we've got with these two cards here. We've got this recognition with these two energies that it's time things change. It's time not only things change, that I do something about it, that I do what feels right. So if that means that you apologise because you've been grunting at your partner for the last 3 months, and the reason you can apologise now is because you understand what you've been feeling and not saying whilst you've been grunting at your partner for 3 months, for example. Or if you've just been in that situation by yourself, so you're single, you're on your own, and you're just sort of like, you've just not been in a good spot, you've just not been feeling good about yourself, you've not been feeling well enough about yourself. It's as if this week, you, Virgo, can transform from that, can change from that. And that change comes from within. There's a feeling that's coming from within you that you're starting to recognise that it matters how you feel, and it matters how you handle how you feel. This is this energy here. This is you recognising your self-worth, your value, the worth of the experience of this, the experience of ignoring what you really think, ignoring how you really feel. It's as if now you recognise, I did that, I ignored that. Sorry, just a second. It's as if you realise this week, I did that, I ignored that, but by me doing that, at least now I can see that it matters how I feel and it matters what I think. So there's a transformation coming this week and you want to act on that. So if you come to that point this week where you start to, over the next week, where you start to realise and recognise, I am worth me feeling good. And this is that. And it's kind of like we're frayed and we're frazzled and we're tired and we're sort of fed up, we'd say in this country, or we'd say up north anyway, we'd say, Fed up just means I'm a bit, not bored, but you're sort of tired of feeling the same way or thinking the same way or telling yourself the same things. And it's like you recognize that it's time to transform from that. And not only do you recognize it, but the universe is helping you feel that. And the astrology is actually helping you to bring that forth for you. Okay, so if you look at here, these are the key dates. You can read the key dates below in the description box. But look, we've got these energies here, and these are all about, if you read it obviously below, but if you these energies are really all about awareness and the things that are beneath the surface, becoming aware of them, us becoming exposed to them. And really that's the type of it's this energy, these planets moving around, all those, light years away or thousands of miles away from us. It's these energies that help you to feel, I need to act on what I'm feeling now. I need to recognize that I am important, and I need to put time and stop ignoring that and put time and effort into nurturing that, into valuing myself, into showing myself love, okay? Which is a beautiful message and one we all need to hear often, okay? And we've got now, this is everything else. So we've got love here, and love can be you in your, whatever romantic situation you're in, but love of self as well. And then we've got everything else. So I say this could be work, finances, family, friends, whatever, okay? So we've got the 5 of Wands, and we've got the Queen of Pentacles. And it's interesting. I want to talk about this one first of all, because I feel I need to put, I've done a video about the night, and I describe the feeling of the energies of the night, and it's very similar energetically, feeling wise, apart from the actions that we take with the masculine night. They're quite similar to the fives, and especially this 5, the 5 of Wands, because the 5 of Wands energy is really that change wanting to come through. It's really that sort of, as we start to take this blindfold off, the temperature starts rising, the heart starts beating a bit faster. Once we start becoming aware of the truth of how we feel about ourselves, or about how we feel about our job, or about how we feel about our singledom, or about how we feel about our partner, or about how we feel about our family. Once we start to become aware of that, it can be a little bit scary, it can be a little bit sort of like testy, and we know that it's better that we just allow that change to come through with the death energy, but we can fight it. That's this energy, and that's these two energies combined. It's like knowing, feeling, right, I need to move, but thinking, no, I'm just going to stay with my blindfold on a bit longer because it's safer for me like this. I don't feel as uncomfortable. I don't feel as anxious. I don't feel as afraid. But it's literally like this week, you can avoid it, you can fight it, but it's still going to happen. I feel that's why it's like there's no point fighting it, because ultimately, and this card tells us this here, this is your energy, I'm a Capricorn, this is our energy, Pentacles energy, this is, you understand what you need to do in order to feel secure and to be secure and to have security. That's this card. Pentacles energy, where we put our energy and effort in order to manifest security. Queens, as opposed to masculines, feminine energy, masculine energy, like the night. The night's about what I'm going to do, the things that I actually do. The queens are about understanding what is within, understanding how I feel about this, about wanting to move forward but not going to. How does that make me feel? How secure does that make me feel? This is understanding where your security comes from. So even though you want to fight it and try to fight it, we can see that. The change, number 5s are about change. And, the Wand energy is energy, that life force, our ki, our chi, the thing that moves us and motivates us. And this is us fighting against those feelings, fighting against that feeling of wanting to change. Do we have to change? Do we have to go in this direction? I've got to start nurturing myself. I've got to start looking after myself. Well, that. So no matter how hard you fight it, ultimately, you know that you need to transform this situation. The apology needs to happen, or you need to go speak to that person, or you need to go get that help, or you need to go do you need to start that hobby because you know it's going to make you feel better, or whatever it is for you as an individual. So this is a really positive week for you, Virgo. It's such a positive week for you. And finally, your second key energy, and I'm not surprised, is, so these are your two key energies for this week. So this is really what you're going to be, I suppose, experiencing in your mind and sort of feeling in your body and in your sort of emotional body as well. It's kind of like, and not just your emotional body, actually, your subtle energy body. So, you know, that unknown sort of, I'm feeling a bit, I'm not sure, I'm not sure, that. This is the key energy. So with number 9 here, we've got the number 9 of wands, so another wand energy. And this is the for shorthand, the PTSD card, the thing that we fear. It's us feeling afraid of, us feeling anxious to move, us feeling afraid of what might be to happen. But look what is happening in this card that's not happening in this card. And I told you what happens. I already described it to you, didn't I? I said, once you start to lift, like he's done here, once you start, masculine, remember, understanding what you feel, feminine, acting on the feeling, masculine, okay? So you've started to respond to those feelings and lift that blindfold off, and suddenly you start to feel, your heartbeat starts to raise, you start to recognize your anxiety, you start to see that you're afraid, you start to notice those things. However, that is what is so positive. So this is what you'll feel. You'll feel this way. You'll feel like, no. You'll keep telling yourself, no. Everything's fine. No. I'm all right. But you know, because you feel it, I do need to act on that. I do need to change that. I do need to shift that. You know that. So I feel like, I'm just taking your thumbnail while I talk at you. So you feel like you want to not make the change, but you're going to make the change. Is going to happen because ultimately you know and feel and understand that is the best thing for you. Because, you know, that is exactly the message of the Queen of Pentacles. And remember, that is your energy, the Queen of Pentacles. So, my darling Virgos, you are due for a week of, hopefully, by the end of this week, you're going to be feeling a lot more grounded and a lot more aware of your mental state, of your physical state, of your physical health, of your relationship health, of your blah, 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 blah. You're going to feel a lot more in control of them just because you are more aware of everything that you're really experiencing and the type of things that you're feeling and the type of actions that you want to take, etc., etc. Okay, my darling? So it's a really good week, and do not fear the awareness, because awareness is actually what leads to our expansion and our growth, i.e. the Empress. Okay, so my darlings, have a fabulous week. If you like this video, as I said at the beginning, give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel, and of course follow Key Wisdom Tarot on Instagram and on Facebook. You can also leave me a comment and I will read them and respond to them as well. Okay, my darlings, I will see you all again next week with your brand new intuitive readings. Have a wonderful week, Virgo. Take care, my darlings. Bye.